Yeah, that's the thing. The meeting is being recorded, so if you do not want yourself to be recorded, please turn off your video. Just seems like everybody's pretty good at doing that anyway. But welcome to this information meeting. We are going to give you kind of a snapshot of the program. I'm going to present for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we will go on. The staff will introduce themselves. We have some program alums who are going to talk to you and be willing to answer whatever questions you have. So let's get started. Okay, so in a nutshell, our program, it's a Tufts program, Tufts in Madrid, but it is jointly administered by Tufts and Skidmore College, and that's been a really long collaboration over 40 years. Skidmore accepts students from other institutions, so we also have at times a good, nice cohort from Smith, a few students from Swarthmore, Colgate, Union College in the future. We have a full year program, but semester options are also available. It's a hybrid program, so we have classes offered at our campus center in Madrid by faculty, by local faculty. All of our classes are offered in Spanish. We also have two partner institutions, the Autónoma in Madrid and the University of Alcalá in nearby Alcalá de Henares. Students also have the ability to take classes at private academies. A lot of times students are interested in taking some studio art classes or just a plethora of classes that you can find in Madrid. We have a fantastic internship program, and over 85% of our students participate in internships each semester. We are a program dedicated to diversity, inclusion, and anti-racism and feminist intersectionality. And that's a global project that includes our academic curriculum, student engagement resources, and just a general dedication to teaching, learning, and living for justice across the board. We also provide intercultural education and ongoing mentoring, and our living situation is in homestays, which is a really important part of our program. One of the most, for most students, the most impactful experience that they have, and where they form lasting relationships many times. In the COVID world, you know, everything can change a little bit, but I'm basically presenting the program as it has always been. And then if changes are made going forward, we'll talk about those. So what's so great about Madrid? Well, it's, I think, and the staff can tell you and alums can tell you as well, but I really just love the diversity of Madrid. On the upper left, you see a big city scene. I did not turn my stopwatch on. Boy, I love to resist. Okay, so it's a beautiful city to walk around. Each neighborhood has its own personality. It's packed full of little treasures. To get to know Madrid, you really have to walk through the city and just take turns down little streets and discover what incredible surprises are there waiting for you. It's, again, I mean, we're in this crazy time of COVID and social distancing and all this, but Madrid is a place where social life reigns supreme. People live outside of their houses. Oh, it sounds so wonderful, right? On the street, you know, in cafes, terraces, you know, connection, relationship is really important. It's a place where slow living is, you know, the thing to do. And I fell in love with this place, you know, almost 20 years ago, and I'm more in love with it all the time, in spite of this crazy times we're living through. On the right, you see the Prado Museum as a cultural, the cultural heritage and wealth of Madrid is incredible. For anybody who's into the arts, it's an incredible place to be. Lower left, that's the Crystal Palace at the Retiro Park. Madrid is a fantastic place for parks. And we actually, in the programming that we're doing this month, we have a bunch of short videos taking you through the parks of Madrid so that you can get to see and experience virtually what Madrid has in the way of parks. Madrid as a city has a lot of greenery in it, just in general, which is something that just adds to the beauty. And on the bottom right, you see a typical terrace scene of people, you know, hanging out and enjoying life with the beautiful weather that we have. It's a nice sunny day here. So it's a fantastic city for many, many reasons. And so one thing that makes our program unique, and that I'd like to spend a second talking about, is that we're not only interested in creating an academic, social, and cultural framework for you, but we're interested in actually getting students to develop themselves as global people. And so in order to do that, we have a bunch of resources and an overarching structure and program design that helps you be successful as intercultural people. Because being an intercultural person, being an intercultural agent, developing skills and attitudes that will make you successful when you're abroad, successful in the sense of being able to do that work, right? Of creating contact zones and meaningful relationship and well-being within the culture, you need to have a series of qualities, practices, tools that you can use. So these are the tools, and we start teaching you right when you get here, and it continues throughout the semester. How to pay attention, how to be intentional about what you're doing every day, how to approach cultural difference without judgment, how to have and develop and cultivate more and more a curiosity and an interest in what's different here, and trying to understand it from within its own logic in a respectful way, trying on cultural practices, even when they feel a little bit uncomfortable, and seeing like how that may help you shift and even start to understand parts of the culture that may not be immediately accessible to you by you mirroring some behaviors, right? Something that also signals to the culture your respect and your desire to be a part of the host world while you're there. Kindness toward Spain, toward Madrid, toward the people that you encounter here, toward cultural practices, but kindness also to yourself when you find yourself in challenge. And above all, the understanding and the continual commitment to adapting while you're here, right? To not coming over as a consumer or a tourist, you know, is this to my satisfaction? Is this exactly how I wanted it? But understanding that what your role is here is to learn, to develop yourself as an intercultural person, and to adapt to what's different. So our Madrid Program Center is located in the heart of the city in Chamberí. It's beautiful, it's large, it houses our academic classrooms, administrative offices, beautiful student spaces. We have a music room that has some instruments in there. It's just a great, wonderful place that I'm sure all the alums who are here are feeling nostalgic about it. Right now, it's a place, you know, that we miss very much because we're all telecommuting now, except for, you know, once a week, a couple of us go down there, but it's just a wonderful space. And no, we don't want you to live in the program center. We want you to, while you're there, to be a very comfortable and accommodating space for you. If you need, we also have faculty offices for office hours or with the staff when we do micro mentoring or with other meetings with peers. But it's a springboard for you to get what you need, basically, and have a safe space to hang out, and then to be able to go out and do your thing, you know, in Madrid, in the city, which is what, you know, we're shooting for. So another thing that distinguishes us as a program is that we have developed over the years, my team and I, a culture of student care. We have something called the Student Care Network. It basically assures that no student falls through the cracks. Whatever you may come to, you know, the Madrid with, whatever situation you have that may include mental health, physical health, economic needs, personal needs, whoever you are, we start right where you are, and we over the years have developed enough information about that through the work that we do that we've been able to resource and design our program and structure it in a way that we can really meet students where they are and accommodate and support each one of our students. So just briefly, these are a few of the resources that help us do that work. We have something called intercultural focus groups, and that's a place where you can do the kind of intercultural work I was talking about and develop the qualities that you need to develop. We have identity-based affinity groups. At this time, we have 3. One group for BIPOC students, for students of color in general, queer and questioning students, and we also have a group specifically designed for African descended students. We have a peer mentor program with Spanish peer mentors that is very helpful in just accompanying students from the beginning. They're third-year students who may study the same thing as you do. They go to the Autónoma. They have insider knowledge about how academics work. They're nice people. And we have staff micro-mentoring. I can't say enough about how important the Tufts in Madrid team is, the staff who are here today, and you'll hear from them. Our students overwhelmingly talk about how much they miss the staff when they leave, and how important each member of the staff, even though we are all very different people among ourselves, but how obvious it is that each member of the staff is 100% committed to our students, to their well-being, you know, and to your development. So micro-mentoring is a place where you get to meet on a regular basis, short meetings with all of us rotating, so that we can basically kind of intervene with you to either provide support or sometimes to provide challenge, and just assist you in whatever way we can, and also get to know you and get to hang out with you a little bit. So to just recap, the structured support and mentoring happens throughout the program, through our academic program, which is also is a critical studies program. And as I said earlier, we base ourselves, we identify ourselves as an anti-racist intersectional program. And our academic program is a critical studies program that takes that focus and really looks at Spanish critical studies. You know, what is this society? What is the social world in Spain? What's the history in Spain? What's the history of whiteness in Spain? How does Spain's colonial past influence that? What, you know, let's look at literature at the intersections and the crossroads of race, gender, class, sexual orientation, etc. Or if we're talking about art, let's deconstruct, you know, the power paradigm in art. What's happening in the Prado Museum? Why does it include and exclude, you know, on what basis? So all of these resources make our program really unique as far as programs operating in Spain. These are our courses. You can just take a look at those courses. I think the names, the titles kind of speak for themselves. We have an amazing academic program, and we have an amazing faculty, and here you see them. So going forward, you can ask us about particular information about the courses. We'll send you syllabi. We're going to talk at the end about the advising sessions, the office hours that we're offering going forward, where you can check in with Guille, for example, who's the academic coordinator for the university, or any of us about our courses that we offer. Internships. Here's a partial listing of things that people have done recently. We have a fantastic internship program. It's so funny, my mind is obsessed with problems right now. And the internship process starts before you come. So Luis, who you'll meet in a minute, is in charge of that, and he basically gets everything started pre-departure, and you just have amazing opportunities. And internships are just a fantastic way to gain semi-professional experience in a global setting, something that you definitely want to put on your curriculum, your CV going forward, your resume. It's a way to create another contact zone in Spanish society. It's a place for you to kind of land, you know, and have an identity and feel connected. So for all of these reasons, it's just a wonderful possibility. Financial resources. We are a really well-resourced program economically, and that's by design. We do that so that we can help kind of level the field for people who have varying economic resources. So students who come to our program will have a Spanish bank account, and into that bank account, the program will deposit the weekly meal stipend, you'll eat 2 meals in the homestay and then another one on your own. So we provide this money for third meal. You have a monthly transportation pass that's good on the metro, on city trains, and on buses. You can travel for up to €170 reimbursement within Spain. There's an extracurricular reimbursement for €300, and that's basically to structure your life in any way that you need to while you're here, or to take a class at a private academy, whatever you need to do. Full coverage Spanish medical insurance, and then there's a cultural activities reimbursement that is actually unlimited, but there are some guidelines. You can't buy a €100 ticket to the opera, but you have to stay within the amount that the student ID card will provide for you. And for students who meet the financial aid requirements and study in spring semester, during which students don't live with host families, there is a stipend for those students, so that will not be a hardship. So what do you do next if you want to study on our program? Contact your off-campus study office. That would be Tufts Global Education or Tufts Programs Abroad, or the OCSE office at Skidmore. If you're not from Skidmore and you're going to apply through Skidmore, then same, you would contact OCSE, talk to your Spanish professors, decide how long you want to be in Madrid, and start the application. I believe, Melanie, the application process for Tufts opens in December, is that correct?
Yes, we are transitioning our system into a new platform. So we expect that to be open sort of towards the end of November, early December, but the applications won't be due until February. So there's plenty of time, and we will make sure that everyone knows about the applications once they're open. So yeah, but people can feel free to contact me in advance about any issues or questions.
Great, thank you. And follow us on Instagram, please. We're currently have a campaign to get 1,000 followers, but we also just have a great social media, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Our faculty is so active, just zooming all around with all kinds of talks and roundtables, and there's just a lot of cool stuff on there too about alums. And so please follow us on Instagram to sort of keep up with what we're doing. And Facebook, our blog is also amazingly active, so you might want to check that out. And that is it. Thank you very much for your attention. And now I'm going to pass this off to my team, my so admired and loved team. And they're going to take a little minute and introduce themselves. Okay, go. You're muted, Maite. Maite. No te oímos.
Voy, perdón. Hola, buenos días, buenas tardes desde España, buenos días de Estados Unidos. Pues muchísimas gracias, Susan, por representarnos tan bien y por hablar de lo que es nuestro programa, que estamos tan orgullosos. Vamos a presentarnos, cada persona del staff, y vamos a hacerlo escribiendo nuestra palabra favorita, que es algo que hacemos muchas veces cuando nos conocemos con los estudiantes. Os vamos a pedir a cada estudiante que también lo hagáis, que hagáis lo mismo, que toméis un tiempo y luego os pediremos que saquéis vuestra palabra favorita en español, ¿vale? Para un contacto con el español. Los estudiantes que ya han estado, los estudiantes del pasado lo recordarán, ¿verdad? Lo que lo hacíamos. Bueno, pues yo me presento, soy Maite, soy la subdirectora del programa y me encantaría conoceros y presentaros el programa de manera individual. Para ello, cada persona del staff hemos abierto nuestro calendario para que podáis tomar un café con nosotros virtualmente y para ello os animamos que aprovechéis esta oportunidad para hablar de tú a tú, de cualquier cosa, de cualquier duda que tengáis, de cualquier pregunta, todo lo que queráis saber. Yo personalmente estaré encantada de hablar desde el alojamiento, a la contabilidad, a cualquier, como os digo, cualquier duda que tengáis. Y bueno, os voy a presentar mi palabra favorita, porque yo ya la tengo preparada. Mi palabra favorita en español es esperanza, que es una palabra que está muy relacionada con estos tiempos y muy relacionada también con vosotros y vosotras, que sois nuestra esperanza. Y nada, paso, Miguel, paso la palabra a Miguel.
Hola. Bueno, digo lo mismo que Maite. Muchas gracias a Susan por su presentación del programa y por mostrar todo lo que somos, ¿no? Que somos mucho más, pero en 15 minutos yo creo que lo ha hecho maravillosamente bien. Y bueno, en mi caso igualmente, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Soy Miguel Lera, soy el responsable, la persona que se encarga de cuidar cuando estáis aquí de vuestra salud, de cómo estáis física, mentalmente, de ayudaros. Y bueno, estaré encantado de que cuando vengáis aquí poder también seguir haciéndolo con vosotros, con vosotras. Lo mismo, Maite ha presentado su palabra favorita. Me uno a ella, que también es en parte mía, y yo os voy a plantear mi palabra favorita, que es jugar, porque creo que no tenemos que dejar nunca de jugar, tenemos que mantener siempre ese niño, esa niña que tenemos dentro, ahí de manera muy presente y más en estos tiempos también, que bueno, aunque son difíciles, hay que intentar con la diversión un poco también seguir adelante. Y paso la palabra ahora a Luis.
Hola, yo soy Luis Castilla. Una cosa antes de presentarme un poco más, si tenéis cualquier pregunta podéis usar el chat durante la presentación. Si tenéis cualquier pregunta, usad el chat y al final vamos a responder todas. Mi tarea principal en el programa es, estoy encargado de las prácticas, internships. Si tenéis cualquier duda sobre créditos, si queréis consultar qué tipo de prácticas se hacen, si queréis ver cuánto tiempo necesitas usar cada semana, tendremos unas presentaciones que luego os vamos a decir, pero también podéis hacer una cita conmigo y hablamos sobre eso o sobre cualquier cosa que queráis consultar sobre la ciudad de Madrid. Yo soy de Madrid y me encantaría pues, poder responderos cualquier pregunta. Respecto a mí, una de las cosas que más me gusta es comer. Entonces, una de mis palabras favoritas es una comida típica del sur de Madrid. Del sur de España, perdón. Salmorejo. Como vamos a hacer cursos de cocina, como vamos a hacer juegos, buscando palabras, pues ya os hablaremos más de ella. Paso la palabra a mi compañero Guille.
Hola, hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Bueno, yo soy Guille y mi trabajo principal es todo lo relacionado con vuestros créditos académicos, ¿vale? Cualquier pregunta relacionada con la universidad o cualquier pregunta relacionada con clases, con cómo podéis cumplimentar algún crédito específico, que siempre es un poco complicado, pues estaré encantado de ayudaros a todos y a todas. Igual que mis compañeros, estaré disponible en horas para que podamos reunirnos tranquilamente y charlar, sobre todo. Y bueno, mi palabra favorita también está muy relacionada con el confinamiento y como soy una persona que todo me lo tomo con mucho humor, he elegido chancla, porque todos los días estoy en chanclas en casa. Entonces, bueno, nos ha traído algo bueno el confinamiento, que es poder usar chanclas, ¿vale? Y nada, para terminar, estaré encantado de atenderos en lo que necesitéis y os paso con mi compañero Sergio. Muchas gracias.
Hola, hola. ¿Qué tal, chicas, chicos? Mi nombre es Sergio. Me encargo en el programa de todo lo que tiene que ver con cualquier tipo de actividad extracurricular, por créditos o sin créditos, que sean fuera del espacio del programa. Esto incluye gimnasios, clases de arte que podéis hacer para crédito o sin crédito y cualquier otra actividad que queráis realizar durante vuestra estancia en Madrid. También coordino el equipo de mentoras y mentores del programa que os acompañan durante toda esta experiencia, que es vuestro study abroad en Madrid, que son estudiantes también de la Universidad Española. Y por último, hago un poquito de magia cuando puedo con las redes sociales y ayudo un poquito en todo este tema, que luego hablaremos más al detalle de ellas y poco más en mi presentación. Mi palabra favorita en estos tiempos tan terribles y tan tristes por los que estamos pasando, creo que debe ser esta. La cultura nos salva de todo y es muy importante. Paso la palabra a mi compañera Maite.
Reinicio el audio. Pues muchísimas gracias a todo el equipo. Nuestra primera estudiante que va a hablar es Génesis García, que vino en primavera del 2014, ¿verdad, Génesis? Oh. Cuéntanos, Génesis.
Hi everyone, I'm Genesis. I'm definitely one of the old timers now, which is super weird to say. Like Maite said, I studied abroad in spring of 2014. I only studied abroad for one semester, but it felt like it changed my whole life. You'll have a lot of students like me who are like, study abroad changed my life. And as cliche as it may sound, for those of us who really immerse ourselves in the culture and unexpectedly it can happen. And I'm definitely one of those students. So I love the program. It's actually super nice to see the staff again. I've been very involved in the program ever since I left. So 2014 was a student, and then I went back to Tufts, graduated, and then I came back to Madrid to teach English, started volunteering at the program, and then eventually started working at the program as an intercultural adaptation coordinator. The program has changed a bit since I've left, but needless to say, I really, really care about the program, and it has influenced me, and it's so incredible to see the way the program continues to evolve. I have to say, one of the biggest strengths of the program, aside from the million things you've already seen that are very strong, is the staff and the program's dedication to incorporating student feedback. I think that the reason the program is where it is right now is because there's a very genuine desire to continue changing and evolving and adapting to meet your needs as students. So the program is very different from when I was a student. It was wonderful then, and it's wonderful now, albeit in different ways. And it's really nice to see how the program has grown. So as an old-timer student, I mean, all I can say is I'm originally from Providence, Rhode Island. I'm Guatemalan American, so my parents are from Guatemala. Really didn't expect much from study abroad. It was just what everyone did when you're at Tufts. Everyone studies abroad your junior year. So I was like, I guess I'm going to do this too. Went and did not expect to like Spain as much as I did. And then I came back and was like, I'm not done. So fast forward to now, that one study abroad semester specifically through our program has led me to live in Madrid for 3 years. And now I actually just moved to Portugal. I'm currently here getting a master's, and I don't want to leave. So yeah, I'm happy to answer any specific questions you may have. But I don't know if there's anything else you want me to talk about, Maite, let me know. But I don't know if you're already accepted into the program or interested, but of the programs that Tufts offers, Spain is definitely a favorite. So you're looking at the right place.
Muchas gracias, Génesis. Y ahora nos va a comentar un poco su experiencia Melissa, que Melissa vino el año pasado a estar el año completo. ¿Verdad, Melissa?
Sí. Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa. I initially applied for the fall semester, but as soon as I was there, like 2 months in, I completely fell in love with the staff, the program itself, also the opportunities, the internship opportunities that we got. Were pretty amazing considering like we were abroad, but yeah, I completely fell in love with Madrid. So I decided to extend to the full year, and the process wasn't too difficult, which was nice. So yeah, as soon as I got there, I met my host family. And I remember when I applied to the program, my host family was very important to me because I'm extremely close with my mom and my family, and they're a big support system. So I knew that I wanted the same thing in Madrid. I knew that I wanted to be very close to my family. So luckily I was put with one amazing woman. Her name is Pilar. And it was just absolutely amazing living with her. We got along really great. She had, I had a host brother as well. And so we made sure that at least once a week we would have like a family day. So Sundays, my host brother, he would have basketball games and we would all go together as a family and then have lunch afterwards. And it was a really great experience because I feel like I really had her as a support system, and we would talk constantly about like how I was feeling, how I was integrating into the program, how I felt in Spain. It was my first time in Europe, so she was just there to make sure that I was okay. And I say that a host family is very important in this program, making sure that you feel comfortable with them, that you, because it's going to be your house for a long time, so you just want to feel comfortable living there. So yeah. And then another thing is as I mentioned, the internship opportunities were absolutely amazing. I stayed for 2 semesters. So I did 2 different internship opportunities. The first one was La Asociación Española contra el Cáncer. So I would go to a hospital that was very close to my homestay. And so I worked with kids who had cancer. And basically it was a volunteer. It wasn't so much an internship as it was a volunteer opportunity. But yeah, I got to work with them and basically interact with them. And it allowed me to integrate more into the culture, which was really nice. Learn a lot more about like how childhood is in Madrid, even though those were very specific situations. But I felt like that was a great opportunity. And then my second internship spring semester, I worked with La Fundación Alzheimer. So it was very different because I worked with little kids in the fall, and then in the spring I worked with older patients, and that was also great. So we worked on a lot of activities to stimulate the brain. So we would do a lot of math problems, a lot of reading, and I think just interacting with them was a really great activity as well, because they would talk about, you know, oh, when they're like, where are you from? And they're like, oh, when I visited the US, or when they would talk about their experiences growing up in Madrid. So it was a lot of brain activity because they would just talk about their experiences with me. But I think what I really got out of that was the interaction with the patients. By far was the best part, because I learned so much through them, and they're absolutely amazing. I love that internship. It was really great. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about host families, homestays, or internships, just reach out and let me know.
Muchas gracias, Melissa. Santiago nos quiere hablar también un poco de su experiencia, poquito.
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, so I went to Madrid last semester, and it was a really, really great time. I think like some other people have said, you hear from everyone that like, yeah, going to abroad is a really good time. You grow, you learn from it a lot. But I think it's a common theme that like, that's especially the case at Tufts in Madrid. So like I would encourage you to like talk to alums, talk to the staff as much as you can, because you will always hear about that. But yeah, something that I sort of struggled with before going to study in Madrid is that I had to balance some classes that I had to take for my major for me to be able to study abroad. And something that was super helpful about the Tufts in Madrid program is that it was really, really easy for me to take classes that counted for my major while in Madrid. So I actually ended up taking 2 classes at Alcalá. Like I think Susan mentioned, you have the opportunity to take classes at 2 Spanish universities, at the Autónoma and at Alcalá. I took mine at Alcalá, and I would recommend to anyone who has the ability to definitely do it. I I made friends with my some of my classmates from my university classes, which was great because and Susan talks about this all the time too. You just want to have as many contact points as possible. And there's no better social interaction than actual students from Spain. So that in a social sense, that was great, but also the classes were fantastic. The academic level was really, really good. Something that's also great about Tufts in Madrid is that sometimes you hear about how classes in study abroad programs are sort of a joke. They're not like, real classes per se. But at Tufts in Madrid, like some of the classes that I took were like the most informative, some of the most rewarding classes I've taken throughout all of my Tufts career. So yeah, I guess my takeaways would be for prospective students that you seriously consider taking university classes at Alcalá or Autónoma if you can. I know it can be super intimidating, but I promise you it's such a rewarding experience, and the staff in Madrid, they do so much to make sure that you know what to expect and that you know what the expectations are. And you if you get into the program, I guarantee you will be able to take classes at the university. So I would really encourage you to do that and to apply because Tufts in Madrid is super fun.
Muchísimas gracias, Santiago. La verdad es que nos ayuda mucho a conocer cómo os sentís. Prilla, no sé si estás por aquí. Sí, Prilla, nos gustaría que nos contaras un poquito la experiencia. Muchas gracias.
Hi guys, my name is Priya. I use the She series. I also went to Tufts in Madrid last semester in the spring, like Santi said. Yes, I echo everything everyone has already said about the program. It's really extremely wonderful. I personally have grown up outside of Boston and I go to Tufts now, so I've only ever lived in Massachusetts. And I was super excited to live abroad, but also very nervous because like as of now, I live close to my family and I don't have experience like going to college in another state or another country. So even though I was very excited to live in Madrid, I was also worried about how I would like adjust to life there. And it was not a problem at all for many reasons, but primarily like my host family and the program staff were incredibly warm and welcoming and loving to me. So even though I was very far away from my family and like friends that I know in Massachusetts, I felt very cared for and very looked after. Like these people are really like in your corner and they're like here to help you and support you. So that is a huge strength of the program that I don't know if that's true for other programs. So that's like huge for Tufts Madrid, is that the staff is like extremely, extremely wonderful, as you all can see from the wonderful videos and hearing them speak today. I miss them very much. And another huge part of the program that helped me feel more comfortable in Madrid was the peer mentor program, which also is unique to Tufts in Madrid. Like groups of 4 or 5 students, like abroad students like me, are paired with students who are currently going to school in Madrid. So you have like a mentor that you can talk to who's like your age and is actually a Spaniard and going to school in Madrid, and having that also support system of like being able to talk to someone your age who like gets it, but is also from Madrid, was a huge part of feeling like more comfortable in Madrid for me. Also, I was asked to talk about transportation. I found it very easy to get around. I have a familiarity with like the metro in Boston, so that kind of translated over. It's pretty easy to understand how to use the buses and how to use the trains. Pretty similar to the Boston Metro. It's like you just go on the line that you need to go on to get to where you need to go. It's pretty well demarcated. It's extremely on time and clean, much more than Boston. Yeah, so I would say it's really easy to get around and figure out your way through the public transport system. And my bar or favorite restaurant, I really like La Lactea. It's a bar that actually Ian and Santi and I used to go to often. It's really cool. It has really cool interior decor and like red lighting and plays cool music. So that would be my favorite bar that I've been to. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions for me, you can totally reach out. I'll put my email in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions. Tufts-Skidmore was a huge positive thing in my life. Like I grew so much, echoing what Genesis said, like even though it's kind of cliche, definitely feel like my life is different now having gone there in a very positive way. And the program is super awesome. So I really encourage you guys to apply.
Muchísimas gracias, Prilla. María nos va a contar muy brevemente, porque vamos ya de tiempo, fuera de tiempo, pues un poquito de su experiencia aquí en España.
So yeah, I'll talk just a snippet of my experience with my homestay. First, I'd like to preface saying that yesterday was my homestay mother's birthday, and I texted her, and we like FaceTime often, which is awesome. And I didn't expect to have such a close relationship with my host mom after leaving Madrid. I studied there last fall, so throughout the spring and summer, and even now, I still stay in contact with her, which is really important to me. And I think, you know, when I was looking at programs, I think having a homestay versus not having a homestay, it really came down to wanting a full immersion experience. And I think Tufts in Madrid offers that. I think I wouldn't have learned the language as well if I wasn't in a homestay. And I think just the support network that Paloma, my host mom, gave me was really important to my experience. So I encourage everyone, you know, it might feel nerve-wracking to get a homestay if you don't feel comfortable with the language, but it's definitely worth it, and you will improve and have a great time.
Muchísimas gracias. Jordana, ¿estás por aquí?
Sí, hola a todos. Perdón por estar en esta situación así. So I did the program last semester during the 2 months, January and February, and then we got kicked out because of COVID. My experience there was great. My host family was great. I still keep in contact with them. I think the program did a great job of pairing me with my host family. I had two brothers, my mom and my host dad. It was a great experience. I took a class at the University of Autónoma. It was very different from, I go to Skidmore College. It's very different from universities in America. So I definitely do recommend taking one if you can, if you feel confident enough to take it. It is a little nerve-wracking at first to take it, but it's definitely an experience that you would like to have, and especially like getting to know other people from Spain and other parts of Europe. The staff was great. They are really there to support you with anything you need. Literally, they're always there. Miguel always helped me with anything that I needed. Maite, everyone, Guille, Susan, everyone, and Sergio too. Everyone helped me, and yeah, I hope you all have a great experience if you do end up going or if you got accepted. Yeah, thank you.
Muchas gracias. Y por último, Ian, ¿tienes también algunas cositas que decirnos?
I guess I'll keep it short, but I guess what I want to tell everyone here is Tufts in Madrid was honestly like the most rewarding, one of the most rewarding experiences for me in college. I was only there for like 7 weeks. I was there last semester before the virus came. And honestly, I improved my Spanish more in 6 weeks than I did in like 6 years. Like just being there, like there's so many moments where I was like, is this going to be sink or swim? And it was always swim. I was like, oh, I'm actually way better at this than I thought. And by early March, I would like know the words to like a Rosalia song. I'm like, oh wow, I would not have like been able to do that. Like like kind of like coming along to, I was like, whoa, I'm way better than I used to be. And I guess what I'll say is the staff, like they're so committed to our well-being and to like us growing and learning, like genuinely. Like I think semester after semester, like the staff occupies this same like status of like our kind of like the people that like take care of us. My brother did the program a different semester, and we both had this exact same experience with like all the staff care so much about us, and they're really here for us for like the good and bad times, and none of us expected like the bad to like include like Trump closing the border and all of that stuff. But even through all of that, they were still there like for us. And I guess my like final word would be like, I don't know when people will be able to go to Madrid, but it's like really worth the wait. Like I think that even if it's like, I don't know, that's just my thought. Like it's like such a good experience, and you'll learn so much that like it's worth like maybe going later if like it's not as like traditional or whatever.
Pues muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. La verdad es que es precioso volver a veros y os echamos muchísimo, muchísimo de menos. Esperamos veros muy pronto, a los antiguos estudiantes y por supuesto a nuevos estudiantes que estamos deseando que podáis venir. Ahora ya nos hemos pasado un poquito de tiempo, entonces pues creo que nos queda ya despedirnos, ¿no? Sí. Susan, creo que es...
Yeah, thank you so much, Maite. Thank you, everybody. I really enjoyed this. Oh gosh, we're just, it's so hard not to be together, with the team. We're so happy to work hard and just throw ourselves into this project that we love and with our students. It's so beautiful to see all of you here, the alums and the new people, and yeah, my heart's full. This has been wonderful for me. So any questions that you have for prospective students, please reach out. The activities that were presented here will be on Global Ed's social media, on our social media. It'll be on our blog, it'll be everywhere. But if there were activities or you didn't get something, please just reach out to any of us and we'll be glad to provide information. And we hope to see you at some of our office hours and other activities, and spread the word. If you have friends here today, the session is recorded, so we'll post that and people will be able to watch it on their own time so you can get a better idea. Because I think until you actually come into contact with who we are and what we're doing and what we're all about, it's hard to imagine, right? Tufts in Madrid just sounds like Tufts in anything, but we're different, and all of Tufts programs are wonderful, but we have our own identity that's very specific. And so it's just wonderful to be able to present that to you today. And I hope that we get the chance to meet you all in person. And alums, I hope I get to see you soon, It's just so nice to see all your beautiful faces. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your experience, which is the most important thing always for students, to hear it from you guys, So thank you so much. And thank you to my team, and thank you, Melanie, for being here. And be well, and stay strong in these crazy times.
Thank you all very much. Thanks to the alumni and the students for perspectives. Just appreciate everyone being here. I know it's crazy times and weird ways to connect. This was really great. So thank you all.